Welcome back to the adventures of, oh god, what a horrible color. The mighty kingdom of Bundon, which is apparently now real, like, just off shitty brown. That's really bad. I was gonna say, we'll start with some perfectly normal lore today, because I know a lot of people are very interested in what's actually happening in the rest of the world. I mean, the first thing to point out is the Western Protectorate are actually super, super powerful. They've spread all the way down here into like, Persia. They are really, really strong, so we need to worry about those guys, because obviously at any second they could say to us, hey, do you also want to join? Seeing as they've got this guy already as a tributary there. We do need to keep a very close eye on that. It might even be worth it to go as far to get a peace treaty with China as well by getting an imperial marriage or something like that. We'll worry about that later on. So things like Egypt, people are pointing out. So Egypt is actually Christian. I'll assume they won it in some sort of holy war. Let's check the history here. Yeah, conquered in a holy war. So, a Carling, a Hugo Carling apparently got that, became a Crusader king, unsurprisingly. Fair enough. Basilius has also headed all the way over through into Persia there. Funnily enough, Hellenic is super influential at this stage in time. So if you go to the map, you've got a lot of Orthodox going on. So Sicily is Orthodox, as it tends to be, because it's part of the Byzantine Empire. But they've actually spread out a huge amount. As you've seen, they spread all the way down into the more southern parts of Africa there too, and they've actually taken a lot of mainland Italy as well. Because of that, Catholicism has been degraded somewhat, so you've got weird things like Fraticelli popping up, you've got Catholic losing a lot of land to, what is that? Sunny in Northern Ireland, and, what is that, Somerset? Very weird. And of course the Aztecs too kicking around have really degraded the moral authority, but some very core Catholic sites there also flipping over to Orthodox, which is very strange. Parts of Scandinavia as well. And then we've got Fraticelli up there in Norway under Aztecs. It's all gone to shit a bit. Culture is kind of where you'd expect. It's a little bit weird. Obviously, you've got the little bit of Aztec displacement there of sort of Occitan and French and whatnot. Then you've got not really anything worth pointing out. Obviously, Hellenic, like I said, is sort of spread out quite far. Northern Africa is quite heavily influenced by Hellenic as well. English culture has formed is something else I noticed there, because right now they are they're North Germanic under a French king, so that is the melting pot necessary for that to form. A couple of 100 years early, by which I mean about 63 years early, so that's weird. Anyway, let's get back on with what we were planning. So, our guy right now, what was I doing with him? I don't remember. Oh, of course, yesterday we built up our bloodline. I mean, really, we're at the end of this guy at this stage. There's not a lot else I can do with him right now to help the realm. We've got, essentially, to focus on stability. I mean, we've got, like I said, the Western Protectorate right above us, probably looking at us as a nice, tasty slice of pie for them to eat. And then we've got, over here, our good friends in Pratahara, who have not only provinces like above us, but also in the center of us, and they share a very hard border with us there as well. So we kind of have a massive target painted on about. Right now, I mean, spending all of this gold and any gold that we make on military is probably going to be the best thing we can do. Making sure we've got a fully reinforced retinue that's ready to kick around. We'll keep it on this border as well. Making sure that we've got levy size buffed out, things like that our marshal's good. Sort of ensuring the opinion of predecessor is going to be high also, so make sure we haven't got any vassals that hate us, things like that. This guy, not really a big deal, because he's just a random temple holder there, but this guy could be a problem. What's wrong with you? You are ambitious, desires the kingdom of Bengal. Okay, revoke my title, whatever. How long is that going to last? We are certainly not going to live another 66 years, so a pretty new predecessor might be actually kind of a problem. Let's send some gold to this guy. Let's give him an honorary title. Designate region. There you go, my friend. We're minus 25 now, so that's started quite well. We got any garbage artifacts we give him? No. We could teach him a virtue. I don't believe that gives opinion, does it? 5 for giving spiritual guidance. We'll try it. I mean, I'll try teaching virtue. I don't think it'll work, though. I don't think it gives opinion. It just makes him a better... Oh! Was that plus 20? Hang on. Was it like taught virtue or some shit? Taught virtue plus 10. Okay, fair enough. So that plus the spiritual guidance as well. Okay, so we've got it down to minus 5. That's a great start. Opinion of predecessor is going to be one of the things that helps keep the realm together. And of course, if the realm splinters and factions get large, we're going to lose so much stuff here, because these guys could also capitalize on it. We might end up being yet another vassal again, which is not somewhere, after all this progress, we want to end up doing. For God's sake, it's the memory of Joris here. The memory of Joris, the memory of Gummy. We have to uphold it. Right, okay, I'll keep a closer eye on that as we progress through here. We're only 50, so this might be a little bit early. It might be a little bit, apprehensive to be focusing on this stuff when it's going to, you know, the gifts and whatever. The opinion modifier for that is going to wear off by the time we die, most likely, so... There we go, there's another 20 opinion with this guy. Hopefully in no time we'll have all of our vassals sort of flipped over to our our favor. What was I going to say there? I was going to say our culture, but that's clearly not right. Speaking of culture, another thing to point out as well is that we are now able to raid. The reason we couldn't last time, it was cultural specific rather than religious specific, so we can raid because we are Budpa, whereas our liege previously was not. I don't know what he was exactly. I was looking for like a vassal somewhere a bit deeper in the kingdom. It might have been Bengali, and I would assume that's the case. They can't raid, so we were limited by that rather than the religious aspect of things, because obviously it doesn't make sense that Buddhists can raid of all things. So why don't we try and find one of our religious artifacts? Seeing as right now we don't really have any artifacts worth mentioning. We might as well do something with this guy. I should really be focused on doing it more and more frequently. Was it not the... It was like the king of... It was like the king of Sri Lanka that had... That had the... Maybe it's this guy now? Like the Tooth of Buddha or something like that? Well, they got some really cool artifacts. I've not seen these. Makara Kundala gives vassal opinion +5, which is very, very huge. Same religious opinion +5 as well is obviously quite big. Oh my god, it gives health +1. I'm ignoring some of the really important stuff there. We've got a Sararaka bone. Belong to Buddha again, quality 3. I don't know what half of these things are. That's incredible though. General opinion +5, learning +4. This guy has a lot of artifacts and I want all of them. The Tooth of Buddha I think is still our best bet though. So let me go ahead and track that one down very briefly. We should probably sort by like my religion and then rare artifact, and that will narrow it down quite a lot. Let's go Tooth. Is it you, really? You're the guy with the Tooth of Buddha right now? So diplomacy +3, same religious opinion +3, sorry, +5 there. Short reign opinion plus or -5. It's insanely good. It's insanely good, and it would guarantee a bit more realm stability by the general opinion, by the vassal opinion, or the religious opinion in that case. It's basically vassal opinion. Everyone's basically Buddhist at this point. Why can't I steal that, though? Not in seclusion. Oh, fair enough. That's it, though, I believe. Yeah, so I mark this kid as special interest, and when he comes out of hiding, we're just immediately going to go for that. His own stats are low. I don't know if that plays into the event. I think it's just determined by our own stats, really. And whether or not they have things protecting it, like guarded, whatever. There's a building you can get in your capital, isn't there? It's like Treasure Vault, maybe? Yeah, Artifact Vault, there it is. So that gives some protection against people trying to steal from you, naturally. So if it's got something like that, it might stop us a little bit. I think we should be good, though, because our own stats are obviously quite decent. We can bring along spouses, chancellors, friends. I imagine we've got good choice. We also have a mountain of money I'm going to start investing. So we're looking for... What was our tech point that we needed? It's like... Was that it? Oh, no. What was I trying to build last time? I swear we needed, like, level 3 castle infrastructure or something very weird like that we needed to progress in. Either way, we're going to sink all the money into any sort of military right now. That's absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, the thing we need to focus on. Temples can give a decent amount of troops as well, so the fact that we've got so many isn't necessarily so bad. Obviously, castles are better, but the combination of that plus the tech points, we might be able to out-tech them if we're careful with things. That's almost 2,000 gold gone immediately. I've got everything upgrading. Now, a lot of what I've picked is levy size upgrades, so it's actually not going to give a real tangible amount of troops right now until we've built, because obviously a lot of these temples are fresh. We've only just built them. So building something that gives a bonus to levy size isn't going to really help unless you have a levy in the first place to give a bonus to. They have a little bit, obviously, but nothing super relevant. However, I think all of that is going to give itself a pretty impactful domain troop bonus. So we're at 4,988. We'll skip to when these things are done, just so we can sort of get an idea of what's worth investing in and what aren't. I'm also trying to focus on those Gompa monasteries as well, because those things give so many bonuses. Not only like a 5% levy size, which is obviously quite significant as it is, but it gives a bunch of bonuses to it as well. What's the highest level of Gompa monastery? So if we save up on the next one, that's levy size plus 10%, garrison size plus 10%, technology spread rate, cultural tech points as well. I mean, it's essentially like another version of the keep in your, well, in any castle. It's insanely powerful. I mean, this guy's already left behind a pretty incredible legacy, but we can also write a book as well. Oh, what we can pay off a loan? What do we... Oh, we only owe a small debt. I'm not going to bother about that, because that's just like a -3 temple vassal opinion. War, stewardship, or learning. We need to try and steal back the original How to Build a Well, and I assume this guy still owns it, right? There it is, How to Build a Well, written by Bonson Joris. Let's go for it. I'm gonna, because we actually share a direct border with them too now, so we can raid that very, very safely, very, very easily. Let's try and get back our book. What I'm going to do is just keep the retinues directly on the border. Then every time we come off of cooldown, or every time the province doesn't have the looted modifier, we're just going to roll straight back in, and hopefully, eventually, we should be able to grab it. Now, I don't know if those buildings, things like artifact vaults or whatever, affect... It says artifact protection plus 10%. That, I would assume, affects raiding as well, right? So, and he's also got it equipped. So the chance of us actually stealing it from what we're doing is very slim. But I mean, there's no harm in keep trying over and over, right? It's not that we're going to lose anything besides maybe occasionally troops during events, and maybe he might raise some troops to actually try and fight us, but besides that, we should be good. Say present and productive present. Did we get anything? Oh, I actually thought one of the pop-ups was about an artifact then. If I can stay on top of this, we are going to be very, very powerful. So I'm essentially playing temple juggling right now. So I'm going between, or just temple, castle, province juggling. Might be a better way to phrase it. Going to all of these provinces, considering what is obviously going to be the most efficient building for us right now. The Mountaineering Academy is good, don't get me wrong, but it's only going to give us another, what, 70, 80 troops? Not really worth it. So I'm going to go for the militia training ground, because that plus the bonus from the keep, plus the bonus from the Gompa Monastery, which we actually don't have, so I need to build that here as well. It's going to stack up to a lot more troops overall. Waiting a little while for one of the buildings to finish, by which point we've earned a ridiculous amount of gold as well. Plus, obviously, the raiding too can help add a little bit more to that. Going over to the next one, I should probably just leave it unpaused all the time, right? Because we're never going to be able to... I think our money's going to run out faster than the building's going to be built. Let's put it that way. Let's also have our steward. Oh, Manny, you are best steward. You're not very good. Look at that man's name. Wow. I don't think I'm not even going to try and say that because I will offend everybody, but that's really something. Okay, what are we looking at? So we're going to go for this one next. Curses, go for the militia quarters, just to give us a nice flat amount of troops. And then this is going to be my life for the next however long. However long until we've built almost everything in the realm. Oh, that's incredible. That's incredible. I mean, the 151 gold we got from raiding this guy's capital is also fairly nice, but our son, Pombonson, can marry Tsogyal Pergyal. Descendant. Of course, she is a very distant cousin of the dynasty. You can tell. She sort of has... I don't know what it is about her, but she definitely reminds me of the first character we played as, Joris Ponson. There's just... I don't know, I guess it's maybe the eyes or something, but she's a good inheritor of his... the blood is strong. The seed is strong, as they say in Game of Thrones. So, Pombonson, did I really start this campaign as a powerful genius? Huh. That's ridiculous. What were you thinking? Anyway, Pombonson II... or the third, I guess, when he inherits. My friend, your wife, she is ready. Not only that, not only are we making a mountain of gold and building a mountain's worth of buildings, or using a mountain's worth of stone to build a mountain's worth of buildings, we are now also the head of the Buddhist society, which, given that we have, I mean, we only have 3,000 piety right now, but given that we forged that monastic bloodline as well, I feel like that's appropriate. You know, I feel like it's well-deserved. So the realm development is going very well. We've gained we've gone from just shy of, what was it, like 4,900 up to 6,800 now. So that's an increase of 2,000 troops over a very small period of time there. But something weird has happened. Something I wasn't expecting us to be able to do here. So we've got Forge your very own sword. That's kind of cool. You get to forge a sword. You get to decide the stats and what bonuses it will give, whether it's more ceremonial, whether it's more warfare-based, blah, blah, blah. Then we've got the option to found a new friggin' empire. And I had no clue we were even close to doing this, seeing as yesterday we only just became king, and I was like, how is this even possible? And then it occurred to me, we've got the titular kingdom of Bundam, we've got the kingdom of Bengal that we usurped, and then we've also got the kingdom of Kamarupa that we gained from our independence. So yeah, we can become an emperor, but is it worth it? I mean, what are the downsides to becoming an emperor, really? Give out kingdom-level titles? Not that we probably would at this stage. We've barely got any realm size, though. We've got 68 holdings. We can become an emperor? This might be the smallest emperor-level title I've ever seen in CK2. Fuck it. I can't think... I'm struggling to think of any downsides at all to doing it. My God, we've gone in what seems to be almost like... Obviously, we played as Joris, as a duke. We made... sorry, as a count there. We made our ducal level title at the end of Gummy Bonson's life. We then played as Gummy's son Pon for all about 5 minutes before he died. And then we flipped immediately to Emperor. So in a very short period of time, from the end of Gummy's life up till this guy's almost end of life, we've gone all the way up to Emperor. That's kind of ridiculous. I mean, in my opinion, the titular titles probably shouldn't count towards your emperor, you know, the ability to forge an emperor-sized title, but that is kind of cool nonetheless. What we're going to go for next is forging that sword. Where has it gone? The actual option to do it has disappeared. Maybe we need like 1,000 gold or whatever to start off with. No, I haven't seen it for a while because we've been... I don't know what's changed that's allowed us to do that now, because we've had obviously thousands of gold before. I don't know. Anyway, we're still obviously trying to sway our vassals, still trying to bring the realm to nice and peace. We're 56. Chances are we're going to die very soon. And then young Pom the Third will take over the realm. Besides just keeping top on the vassal opinion, and besides keeping on top on the troops, there's not a lot else we can do. And honestly, our vassals are in a very good situation right now. We've only got this guy that really particularly hates us. The other guys are not keen of us, but they don't obviously hate us. This guy's the only one left to fix, and he is our nephew. Right, okay. Why do you not like us? Want to see it on the council. He wants the county of Monial. I mean, I could do that. It's definitely within his duchy. Now, not only will giving him Monial give him the vassal, give him the opinion for gaining the province, but it will also cancel out on the negative too. So we're going to go from minus 85 to 60 by giving him a province he should have anyway. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. We lose two, what was that, like 2 temples, 3 temples, and a castle there, which... debatable whether or not we wanted to give up that many troop count. Yeah, we've lost like literally like 1,000 troops doing that. Oh, well, never mind. It's not a big deal, is it? We can just focus more on playing tall somewhat. And in fact, that's something I should definitely do. Now, was that not a very good... oh, I mean, this province is pretty good. We really want to move our capital. We really want to move our capital because being up in the mountains is all well and good. We can keep Bearer because obviously we're building a great library there. But moving down to somewhere where there's multiple of, like this province, for example, we've got 2 castles and a temple there. We only can't control the city, and then we can build another castle and another temple as well if we wanted to and keep it varied. This would be a much better capital. Not only is it more well connected to enemy realms, not only will we be able to raise our troops from a more central area, but we can hold all of these provinces personally and get the bonuses from it. Besides that, I mean, that's clearly the best province in our round. We did want to try and take this one, which is a 6-holding county. But, I mean, that would also involve going to war with these guys with their 30,000 men. My God, how are we ever supposed to match that? We can't expand anywhere now. That's it. Like, this is the extent of our empire. We can go for these guys, but, of course, unless they somehow break away as being tributary, they're just going to call in the 25,000 stack. I don't know what to do. I've never really been in this position before where we've literally got nowhere to expand to. Unless we start fabricating claims, all the way up here on land where there aren't even bloody buildings in the first place. I mean, it's just not viable, is it? We're just going to have to play super tall. Even then, it's not really that tall, but we're just going to try and get every last little bit we can get out of our realm. As soon as we give a tile away, apparently we inherit another one. So we've got, where is this one? Is this any good? Is this like a 5? No, it's 2 slot. Okay, that's not fantastic. But we'll hang on to it for the time being. We've apparently got that whole duchy anyway, so why the hell not? There's unfortunately not going to be any real way to revoke this one either, based on the fact that this guy's obviously a vassal under a vassal. Not only that, his dynasty is quite sizable, 20 living members. We'd have to kill off a lot and revoke a lot and cause a lot of issues. We'd essentially have to revoke everything and dish it all back out again to avoid the massive vassal opinion loss if we went down that route, so I'm going to probably avoid that. Let's send this guy some gifts and just keep him on board. There we are, 49 opinion with you. Then who have we got to worry about? It's just... who is Gunkson Bonson? Where has he come from? Is he new? I don't recognize you. Well, we'll send him a gift either way. It's only 200 gold to make him obviously like us quite a lot. And that's down with all the vassal problems. Right, so when Pom the Third now takes over, we should have quite a high opinion of predecessor. What's our lowest opinion? 5? And that's the guy that we're still swaying. Yeah, so we've just got to kind of wait and... oh, shit, we can send him another 48 gold there. I really shouldn't be doing that until we are kind of expecting to die, but I guess we could drop down dead any minute now. Nice. There we go. That'll do it. Okay, so he's up to 59 opinion now, and he owes us a favor. Are there any other laws? Oh, okay. We can go for elective gavelkind. That's not fantastically useful, though, because we have heir designation, don't we? I'd love to get absolute cognatic, but I think we're still so far away. We need full gender equality, don't we? To be fair, we are really, really getting quite close to that. Now, legalism would also... sorry, late feudal administration unlocks primogeniture, right? Oh, we've already got primogeniture. Oh, but you do need late for it, so I wasn't really wrong. We could go for that and basically guarantee a bit safer succession, because that way all of our various counties wouldn't be dished out. It would also prevent certain other weird inheritance-related issues going on with that. We could also go banking laws up to the highest. It basically would give us at this stage a plus 15 feudal vassal opinion. I mean, that's a hell of a way to guarantee that you would get a high opinion of predecessor. Centralization, I think, is entirely irrelevant. We don't need any more domain size. We've got 7 out of 11 right now. Granted, we do have quite a high stewardship, but even then, 18 stewardship for 11 domain size is quite generous. Yeah, I don't know where we start, really. And then, of course, we've got religious revocation. We've got so many good laws to pass. I'm going to go for administration, because that way we can guarantee and give ourselves primogeniture. Wait, hang on. Are you our firstborn? Oh, wait, I've got designation anyway. It won't matter. So what that means now, even though it's primogeniture, we still designate heirs, it will mark them as unlanded sons, as you can see there, which will obviously have various opinion modifiers and whatever else. But even if he wasn't, we could go to, like, Bonson here, we can mark him, and all of our titles will transfer to him instead. Pisses off a lot of our other kids. So, it's risky, but I think it's not that big a deal for the time being. When we get a lot of more shit like this, when we get other landed family members, that's when it's going to get confusing. Are all of our family just marrying our family members at this stage, I'm going to have to be very careful of inbreeding in the future. My God, 52 living members. That's something else I could be doing, actually, for the time being. It's making sure all our dynasty members are married off. Let's go Great House, my dynasty. Married, no. And that's sort by age and make sure that all of these people... Oh, I thought it said trashy. Then it actually says tashy. Let's make sure they're all married off if then... You know, younger than 59, preferably. Here we go. People like Jetsuna. Let's get you married off immediately. Let's go for, like, a matrilineal, and you can, even if we don't get a good marriage candidate for her, we can at least try and build up the dynasty somewhat. Marry that genius man. There we go. That's one down. There we go. That's tidied things up quite nicely. So everyone who's not married off right now is either too old or not in our court. So, like, these men here, we can't marry off. These kids here, we can't even arrange betrothals for, and these guys are obviously a little bit too old. But a lot of them, I've tried to ensure they're married to someone who at least has strong, genius, quick, fair, something like, sorry, attractive, something along those lines that will give tangible bonuses. So, like, even my daughter's matrilineally married off to attractive. Might not seem like much, but it is, of course, better than nothing. We've got this daughter married off to a random strong guy. We've got this guy married off to another attractive woman. In theory, if we keep this going over a long period of time, our dynasty, and as long as I ensure they're being married off to only people with congenital traits, over a long period of time, it means our dynasty is just going to have nothing but congenital traits, just for the or at least a higher chance, because we're actually focusing on that, whereas the AI almost certainly won't. Right, I did have to rebuild the retinue, because as I was sieging these guys down, we got smashed by a gigantic horde of, like, 12,000. So, let's move back in. Now, I've actually built a slightly different retinue this time. I'm using the Mountaineers, I think they were called, retinue. Just because I sort of dismissed them immediately. I was like, okay, they're kind of garbage, but the retinue cap usage is actually very, very small to say that it is 150 cavalry. It's obviously because it's 350 light infantry. The majority of it, like a third of it there is obviously going to be that. So, it's in some ways better than cavalry just for numbers and sieging and battles if we have good commanders, mainly because we have so many more troops per our retinue cap. There's a kind of a lot to consider with it. Light cavalry are statistically still the best on average retinue troop. It's like light cavalry and pikemen are now also insanely good as well. Well, still insanely good. They've always been really good. So, let's go back in. And this time we're going back in with like 4,200. What's it like a maximum? 4,500 now. That'll do it. What do we get? Skull trophy. Ah, you got my hopes up then, you fucker. Well, that's some... Where's my book? Where's my fucking book? This guy died. Who inherited? His brother. Wait, whoa. He inherited. How did he inherit? It's his father. No? It's his... Wait, what? Oh, it's his grandson. Right. So this guy's grandson, so that's his let's check, like, this guy's brothers for any rulers. Nothing. Oh my god, how am I going to track down my book? I guess we could type in how to build a well within diplomatic range. It's so rare that there'll be another copy of that book anyway. I'm going to assume it's this guy. Have you got my how to build a well? No, he doesn't. He's just got how to worship bloody Brahma. I think it's gone. I think Joris's book was lost on succession. They dropped it in a fucking puddle or something. Oh, that's frustrating. That's frustrating, because those were the holy words of glorious Joris Bonson, founder of this dynasty. The Golden Man himself. Well, obviously not the Golden Man. That was Golden Gummy. But the man who founded the Golden Dynasty. I'm so fucked off by that. We're never going to get his work. Well, never mind. Just CK2 things, really. Just CK. I mean, it's balancing to stop you getting such crazy good characters just by collecting artifacts and shit. Does this guy not love us already? Am I done trying to make this guy like me? No, apparently not. We're doing a pretty decent job. So when's the next time we can pass a law? Because I would love to get full stats of women as well. Primogeniture, basically free heir designation and give them all the titles with absolute cognatic, is the ultimate succession law. It's the ultimate. We just pick whoever the hell they want and they take everything. That's fantastic. I couldn't think of anything better. The issue is we've got quite a long way to go for that. So we need full stats of women, and that's it, right? Yeah. We just need full status of women, and then everything else is good. We may be able to do it with this character if he can live long enough. So we need another 1-2 laws. We can vote on, what is it, every 10 years. So can he live to 78? Unlikely. Incredibly unlikely, because he's already stressed too. I mean, we can try it. We can absolutely try it. Let's go for Hunting Focus for a while and see if we can keep our guy alive. Ah, Forge a Variant Sword. So what's the, oh, you need 1,000 gold. You need 4,500 prestige. That's why we've never seen it before. My god, this guy's got so much prestige, plus 880, yeah, that's cursed. 5 Landless Suns obviously having a bit of effect on our prestige. My god, he'd be getting like 12 prestige a month. Almost 13 prestige a month, that's insane. That is absolutely insane. He's got 10,000, I feel like we've done nothing. Every 5,000 prestige, they should let you form a bloodline. Paradox, just saying. Just because a man builds a bunch of temples once doesn't mean he might do something else, huh? Let's forge our very own sword then. So if you're not seeing, I will go through all this because it's rare that we've shown this off really. So we can get a completely random sword here: Dawnbreaker, Justice, Nightbane. I assume this is like a quality 3, quality 4 random sword that exists in the big game, or we click continue. And we can actually pick its specialized stats, what bonuses it will give to us, what it'll confer to the character when we've got it equipped. So, again, like I said, you can make it more ceremonial, or you can make it more useful, more practical. Martial +3 or Stewardship +3. To be honest, I have big plans for Bonson, for Pom Bonson III. Although he hasn't got very fucking big plans for the realm, though, huh? God, he's bad. We give him +3 Martial, we take him up to 10 Martial. That way, if we do get into war, I mean, even if he doesn't lead troops, it will give a slight troop bonus. What's our... Oh, God, we've already got 15 Martial. It's a downgrade. It is a massive downgrade next generation. You got to remember, we are marrying off to this lady just because she reminds us of Joris. So then, even then, we're not going to get Genius, we're not going to get Prodigy, we're not going to get Strong. So the next generation of him, it's also possible to be a downgrade. He's got 15 Diplomacy after all. Let's go for the Martial. Do we want to give the +15 personal combat or the unit buff? We are not going to be on the front lines, and we are not going to be fighting any duels with the personal combat skill on 9. Let's go for the unit buff. I think I would do that anyway, because personal combat is just so easy to min-max if you really want to go down that route. Prestige or Piety? Fantastic question. Normally I'd be inclined to go Prestige, but given that playing as a character who has been part of a monastic society, who's head of a monastic society, we were working on building temples and shit all his life, and we're playing monastic feudal, to say that we've got a third of the amount of karma that we have of Prestige, I think going for Piety, and there are other reasons for that as well. Obviously, we expend Piety a lot more, which is probably why it's so low. Let's do it. Personal combat of Vassal Opinion +5, that should be so easy. That should be so easy. Let's go for Opinion. Perfect. Your personalized sword has been added to your treasury, adds retribution. There we go. I assume it's quality 3, right? Because it wouldn't just give you the best one. Oh, it is quality 4. Fuck me. Oh, on the subject of quality 4, if we search for a smith now, we can get the best types of jewelry in the game and the best types of armor in the game. Let's do it. Okay, we're going to go for, so we don't need a weapon. We've already got quality 4, and I very much doubt. I mean, none of what they can give you, what they give you is obviously leadership trait bonuses, you know, the direct damage or morale damage or whatever else. Bonuses to that. We're not going to be leading troops, or at least not for a couple of generations, so you might want to do that eventually if you do have a particularly godly martial character or a child of destiny or anything like that. You might want to go for that one over the sword that we just forged. We could go for armor. We've got quality 3 armor right now, and the quality 4 armor is very, very rare and very difficult to get. Whereas we don't really have many good... What do we got? Like a quality 2 staff and a quality 3 crown. Regardless of what we end up smithing, whether we get the bonus event or not, now that we're an Emperor tier character, we can get that event. Regardless of whether we get the bonus event or not, we're still going to get an upgrade for our staff. We're going to get the same level crown, but we're also going to get the bracelet. So, or we might get a ceremonial dagger. I actually don't remember for the Tibetan culture. Let's do it. Find me a goldsmith to create jewels befitting of my status. For the son of the golden man, golden jewels. The grandson, I guess, of the golden man. There, I've fucking just. You're welcome. Oh, God, 20% chance we die. The lust overwhelms his poor, achy, breaky heart. He's alive. He's alive, he's lustful. His background has become very dark elf. I don't know why that happened. Wife, I'm feeling particularly horny today. Hang up the sex curtains. Like, what is that supposed to symbolize, Paradox, you weirdos? Nothing displays authority like fine jewelry. I have no money to spare on such frivolities. No, we shall go for the fine jewelry, my friend. 2,000 gold flat. Now, to get the quality 4 jewelry, it's explains 1,000 times 4, but I'll do it again for the people who have just joined us. You need to get a random event, very small chance of it happening. I think it's like a 10 to 20%. I don't remember the actual stat, but it is quite low, less than 50. Of the goldsmith basically saying, hey, I found better quality gold. You need 1,000 gold to go and get it. So for the quality 4 gold, it's always going to be 3,000 gold for us. This bit is scaled wealth. The next bit, I believe, is not. So let's go for the 2,000 gold. Oh, my money. I think we also have to improve the opinion of the Smith to some extent. I mean, I'll do it. It's unnecessary. I mean, he fucks off anyway in a minute, so it's very unnecessary, but I'll try and make him like us. You're my trade master now. Senel the Goldsmith. Goldsmith by name, Goldsmith by nature, hopefully. As I was, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, sure, we'll just say, yep, that's fine. I see no harm in Senel taking some time to help Pom. That's fine. Pom gains 1 stewardship. He loses 50 prestige. That's honestly fine. I would definitely not say no to that regardless. Marshall's given a man a great military talent. He is very good, actually. We're going to sack that man. Fully agree. Absolutely. He's got good leadership traits, but that's just a man, mate, really. Oh, is this a grandson? Hey, there we go. That's a great start. Grandson, you will be educated in, I think, a completely... Oh, it doesn't matter. Like I said, we're only using the Wheel of Fortune for our direct dynasty. And, of course, the names as well. I'm not going to waste good names on... Get used to this. This is going to be happening a while now. Like, 9 months after all the marriages crop up, this happens, unsurprisingly. Again, whatever. I really should be picking, like, Thrift or the other one. Key, welcome. Key. Oh my god, we got it. Good news, my tempo. Senel says excitedly, the goldsmith has informed me of precious metals and gemstones have been located in a nearby province. Probably my fucking warehouse, given the amount of garbage we've got in there, huh? We actually have nothing right now. I take that back. Fully retracted. We need to buy a horse at some point. This entire series, I haven't built a horse. We're up in the Himalayas. We've got, like, mountaineers and shit. We haven't got any horses. Good news, my tempo, blah, blah, blah. There's another 1,000 gold, by the way. The realm. We can afford it. The treasury can hold. The treasury can definitely hold, given the amount of shit I've built in the past 20 minutes. Look at that, though. We're up to 11,000 men now. We're up to almost 12,000 men. Another distant relative there. What's that, like a granddaughter? Yep. Magyar, you were training. I should always go for just exclusively duty or thrift on family members that are long distance, just because it's the safest education to take. There we go. Oh, that's nice. So we've got a dagger of glory and a celestial necklace. We've got a crown and we've got a scepter. That's cool. So really, we didn't actually lose any slots there. Celestial necklace, dagger of glory. We could still get a quality 4 crown, but unfortunately we can't craft it because of our culture. We'd have to go steal it from somewhere. Golden staff, though, does apparently count as a ceremonial weapon, so that we could ship off to China. I don't think you're allowed to send that stuff to China, though, are you? No, you're not. Yeah, it's just random garbage. The Emperor's not interested when he's probably got all the gold in the world. We could kowtow. We could also send a eunuch. It's not really worth it. Those are good commanders, and this guy's apparently our marshal. Nah, don't worry about it. I'm not too concerned about China right now. We could always get some artifacts, because we've got so many artifact mods, we might as well see what they've got to throw at us. Sure. Send me one of your fancy... Master Engineer would make more sense, but you know, send me a fancy Chinese artifact. Let's see if we get something new. Nope, we got a Chronicle of Economic Principle. I suppose it makes up for the fact that we lost Joris's glorious words on the economy. It's a consolation prize. Nothing will compare to the might of Joris. Another bloody granddaughter. I don't care. Send them to school. Why are you asking me? Father, are we okay to call her Dringma, even though you've said you don't give a fuck to all of your other grandchildren? Is this one any different? The next one I'm literally just going to call, like, Go Home. Or something along those lines, because there should just be an option like, don't bother me about anybody but not my own kids, huh? Oh, this guy dislikes us. Why? Oh, probably because the gift wore off. Here you go, my friend. You are now Treasury Guard. Is that really something that you would gain opinion for? Hey, I need you to stand here and risk your life to protect my books. I'd be pissed off. That should be a minus. And in fact, that would make perfect sense being a minus, because you are increasing the chance of your artifacts not being stolen, but you are giving someone some very boring menial work and potentially risking their life to, again, save some books. That would make sense. That's like a good use of that. Nope. Guess we'll just stick to bloody court jester. Hunting dog. There we go. Thank you very much. We're going to name it Faithful. Lovely. Faithful the hunting dog. Who are we burning? Commander. It was not my commander. Burn him. Get out of here. Any excuse to burn anyone, I'll take it. Oh my god, we're still part of the society. I'm actually kind of tempted to leave at this stage, but it does give temple build cost minus 50%. The revolt risk lower and the diplomacy bonuses are obviously quite nice as well. With our next character, we could join the fighting society. Risk our lives a little bit. Don't forget, I have modified it so they are not a guaranteed death, but instead you have a high chance of becoming maimed, wounded, craven, shy, whatever, you know, it's psychological and physical effects instead of just a straight up death, because I know it would kind of suck a little bit if we spend ages building up a character, like following him from birth up till, you know, the greatness, and then just watching him die randomly because he fell on his sword in a duel or something. I think to save my man's life, let's take a vow of celibacy. Last time he fucked, there was a 1 in 5 chance he could die, and the older he gets, the more stressful it becomes, and he's already stressed anyway, so his health is... What's his health looking like right now? 8. Okay, because of the dog, because of the hunting focus, we've brought it back up somewhat there. Again, I don't care. Press this guy with vague promises. I was just checking the vassals out here, and honestly, they're all still in a really fantastic mood with us, so... it would be almost a sensible play to die now, rather than going for the hunting focus, or the family focus, or the theology focus. Go for, like, rulership, where you can become stressed and depressed, and then just fucking die. Because now it would be an incredibly safe, very straightforward, easy transition into our next character. But, no. You know what? Pom's earned his place in this realm. He built one of the two bloodlines of this glorious dynasty. He's continued the legacy of Golden Gummy. However, with the religious zeal and fervor the realm has never before felt, he unified the people. He's expanded the borders. He's turned us into a friggin' empire. We can't just kill him off and cast him aside now we're done with him, like some sort of... I was going to say used tissue, but that's a fucking horrendous metaphor. What a just an awful thing to... You put... You know, I'm not trying to say that. You poor man. He's a lovely man, but you poor man. He is uncouth, though, so maybe he would do that. Less travelling means more work being done. Lose 63. Oh, Jesus. We almost paid off the debt. Now it's all mounting up again. Who are we burning? Has he got any money? I'll burn him regardless. And we're up to 859 gold because of the raiding. I mean, there's just so many ways with this particular mod pack. So many different avenues, assuming you're also playing this character that's raiding, to earn a ridiculous amount of gold. I think that min-maxing with the first two characters has actually left us in an insanely good situation. Let's compare ourselves to, like, the tax of these guys. Oh, to be fair, to say that we... Granted, obviously, they've got a much, much, much larger kingdom than us, a much larger empire than us. To say that we min-max with our first two characters, these guys are earning the same amount of gold as us, and they are AI, and, by the way, he's also sat on a fucking mountain of money. As the AI just sitting on it, not doing anything with it. This guy's got 11,000 gold. It's got to be the Trade League, right? Where they're selling resources there, but they're probably going to war. And I mean, this is exactly how it's working for us, even just sieging these few provinces. We go into war, our vassals are dying, we're inheriting artifacts, we're raiding down and sieging and stealing artifacts. Then people are approaching us saying, hey, can I buy that? And then I believe it's also scaled to your wealth as well. So, I mean, yeah, there's just so much money. There's an absolute abundance of money in the world. Man, I was feeling so proud of my realm being incredibly rich as well, and now I just feel like... I don't feel special. Everyone's fucking got it. We're sure we got a fancy, nice, shiny golden bloodline. I'm so tempted to declare war on this guy, I'm not going to lie. It is essentially our only avenue for expansion right now, isn't it? Unless we start heading up into the Himalayas and then down into the Tibetan basin there. Honestly, I do want to declare war on this guy, even though he could call in his big vassal friends. His big liege friends. These guys are very distracted with taking Persia, which they've taken. My God, the Byzantine Empire borders our neighbor, and we are on the furthest eastern point of the map. That is unreal. Both of these guys, it's like they've just been like star-crossed lovers or some shit, like going for one another. What is going on? The Arg-e-Ryan. I don't know what that is, but apparently it's on fire. Yeah, this is really... And the Abbasids, of course. I didn't even point out the Abbasids. They've just completely blobbed out of bloody control as well. Denmark have taken almost all of Scandinavia. How the hell are you guys not a... Look at this guy. What the fuck? 23 martial, 23 stewardship, 22 intrigue, 124 personal combat. Son of Satan. Is Jesus giving him military advice by any chance? No, he's just good. Midas touch, brawny, wrath, brave, diligent. These are all base game. Machiavelli -2, you would actually have, if we weren't playing with the mod pack, you'd actually have even more bloody martial. Fucking hell, this has gone so weird. This is a weird world. He's gone? He's gone? There wasn't even an effect for him dying. What did he do? Just disappear? I don't know if you heard that, but there wasn't even like a or any of their usual garbage. Sempo Pom II has ascended to heaven at the age of 60. I'm going to be honest with you, I did just play a lot of months there because I saw it was kind of about to happen anyway, so I thought, you know what, let's go in tomorrow as a fresh start, because we've been playing as this guy for a very, very long time. He's been the backbone of the last few episodes here. It's time to move on to bigger and better things. We're playing as Pom III, who's already 46 years of age. My God, we're starting late with him. An accomplished diplomat, vassals and foreign rulers alike sure to respect him. Long live Sempo Pom III. And that was only about a year or so after that, after we left off. So that's fairly impressive. 65 years of age. I think today we've blown through about 16 years of the dude's life anyway. So gain a title. There we are. Wow. Abundant. And what do people think of us? That's the important thing, because that's what I felt like I was setting up for this entire episode. Everybody loves us. Oh, they don't. The two troublemakers still don't really like us. We're already printing your predecessor do. Plus 47, though. Really glad we focused on that, because that has absolutely paid dividends right now. That is going to help keep this round together. Let's send some gifts out. Let's ensure we've got honorary titles and other sort of stuff set up. I don't really care about putting these random garbage vassals on the council when we've got other, really, really skilled individuals here. Right, that is exactly the perfect place to end it. I'm so glad that happened then, because that couldn't have been better timing. Thank you all for watching. We move on to Pom, the third of House Bonson. 19 diplomacy, 13 martial, 12 stewardship, 10 intrigue, 13 learning, and 19 personal comment, which is shameful. We're going to start with family focus, because my man has no children, and that could start causing us some issues. Married, of course, to the lovely Pergyal Sogol Pergyal, who I'm going to send a gift to, and I'm going to order an honorary title of my favorite perfectly normal wife. This is going to put us right back on track with the perfectly normal playthrough, and I'm looking forward to hopefully getting an heir who is reminiscent of the original Joris Bonson. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Let's give a shout out to the insane top tier level patrons who made this series possible in the first place, including Aiden W, Alpha Scuff, Anthony Golly, Asuna Kirito, Atmos, Average Gamer 419, Bacon Kitten, Sidini, Crazy Pack, Roasters, Donald, Emerald Beam, Facunda Vasquez, Fluffernutter, Ghost of Protocol, Gogula, Sarik, Jimbo, Jonah Waters, Josh Lendine, Tesla, Justin Wallace, Kenan Carter, Michael Mullen, Muskratful, Nat Buskus 911, Nathan Flores, Necrophilin, Pelvis Presley, Rodin, Richard Clark, Scott, Skaz, Somnus, Stannis, The Manis, Shayuk, Swain, The Forsaken One, T-Back Cruz, Tom Terry, 18, Tyler Kendo, Vecus Bacchus, and William Green for the support the Insane Tier Loves on Patreon. Thank you very much for your support. I got to give a shout out to the Twitch subs as well. We did do a Twitch stream tonight, which is why my voice is very quickly fading away. That was interesting. It was an interesting Twitch stream. We'll never talk about it again. Thank you as well to Asero, Adam Person. VODs are up on the second channel, I'm sure. Asero, Adam Person, Andrew Walsh, Andrew Wilson, Attila, Austin Taylor, Bordoom, Ben Trope, Esper Spat, Spencer Valerian, Black Double H, Chris, Corey CA, David Van Diepen, Don, Connie217, easy to pronounce name, Eric Farrell, Exploding Knees, Foosh, Fraser Brennan, Gabriel Van Ders, Gaz, Genji Circle, Gompo, Gray, Haji Dumar, Henrik Stensgaard, Icarus, Ice the Grey, Ida, Irish, Jay Lara, Jacob Wolfie, James Barnes, James Shea, Jason Sushu, Jose, Yoran DeVries, Jessica Smith, John Holiday, Jordan Campbell, Joseph Beer, Justin Plott, Justin Walters, Luan Thomas, Luke Wallace, Mastolp, Monty, Nathaniel Lindbergh, Nick, Noah Gallimore, Pan, Simon Pants, Pearl, Paper, 1 through 7, Paint, Dennis R. Rodrigo, Russian Oligarch Billionaire, Ryan Hooper, Smirtworm, Spencer Powell, Socrates, Super Nanny 089, The Bloody Knight, The Insane Pickle, The Long Crew, Paragon, Voodoo Member, Wesley Grace, Smallwade, Wilson Atef, Wolfie, Yorkus, and Zico2. See you guys all tomorrow for a fresh start. Plans